Oh man, I get crunk every time I hear that intro. What's going on, Best Damn Nation? This is your boy Brian Renegade, and welcome to the show. Thank you for attending and watching every Wednesday. It's the best damn wrestling crew. I got my boy LP in the building. LP the Don, what's happening?
What's going on?
Oh man, hey, look, man, it's good to see you, brother. It's been a wild week in wrestling, sir. Yeah. Man, let's get into it. SummerSlam happened on Saturday. And man, was it a show? I was super impressed from what I saw. I know we have been talking smack about Roman versus Brock and how tired we were about seeing that dynamic, but man, they delivered on Saturday, man. So I got to, I'll admit when I'm wrong. Somebody had their hands on that. I can see Paul Heyman definitely having a couple of fingers on a couple of flanges on that match, and a couple of other people, man. But wow, let's talk about it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the main event, man. Roman versus Brock. What did you think about that match, LP?
Well, I mean, hands down, it was the best match that them two have had. Like, that ain't even debatable. Like, it was hands down the best match they had. I just think it was a good match. I don't think they can ever wrestle again. Like, I think they put it all out on the line on this. Like, this is definitely the last time we're gonna fight. Hopefully, but I really think both of them put it all on the line.
Yeah. Man, they put it all on the line. If you haven't watched the match, Brock Lesnar came down in a tractor. First of all, I've seen a lot of vehicles being driven into match. I've seen cars, motorcycles, bikes, unicycles. I have never seen a tractor driven into a match before. He even had his personalized logos on the side, and he knew how to work that thing. You could tell he works on farm. He moves dirt all the time. He knew how to drive that thing, man. And he lifted the fork part up, the actual shovel part, and stood on it, introduced himself, and then jumped on Roman Reigns and proceeded to beat the hell out of him. Man, they threw everything in that match but the kitchen sink at Brock Lesnar. I mean, it took the Usos, it took Paul Heyman, it took tables, it took it was a really interesting match. And he moved the ring with the trailer.
Yeah.
Not only did he slide it a couple of inches, he lifted it up while Roman Reigns was in the ring and rolled him up like dirty laundry. Rolled him out of the ring. Man, that was the first time I've ever seen that. And that was a pretty hard hitting match, man. And like I said, I'll admit when I'm wrong. I was talking junk about it. I was like, don't nobody want to see Roman versus Brock, but I was wrong. Because that the match of the night. What was your favorite moments in that match, LP?
In that match?
Yeah, in that match.
Well, I mean, of course, him raising up the ring, because I didn't expect that. That was some Stone Cold Steve Austin type stuff, from them to even. I haven't seen nothing like that. Because Stone Cold used to stuff like that all the time, cement truck, beer trucks, or whatever. But to see Brock do it was like that was a good moment. And then the Austin team was a good moment. Even though they played my boy, they played him, but that was a good moment.
Yeah, man. Welcome another brother in the best damn crew, Mr. Everything, Victor Andrews. What's happening?
Man, sorry for my lateness, man.
Man, I heard you had a pretty busy weekend, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We had the Control Your Narrative come through in North Carolina and put on one amazing show. We stepped up against the guys of AML and the future stars of AML. So yeah, it's been a busy weekend, man.
Yeah, man. If nobody's checked out this man in action, I actually have a small surprise for you guys. Let's just check out this little clip from this weekend from Mr. Everything getting busy putting boots to asses.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
What is it?
That's all I had. I had limited resources. But I was actually able to watch that match, man, and you did a really great job in that match, brother. And every time you step in that ring, man, you look like you at home. So, what was your experience in your match, man? I know we just saw you take a boot to the face, but man, you sold that boot to the face.
Hey, man, it's always an amazing experience to get in the ring with C.W. Anderson. You know what I mean? Like we always elevate each other every time we step in the ring. We push each other to the fullest extent. So we went out there and did what we were supposed to do, and just go out there and entertain those fans. And once you can hear my son in the background, he didn't like that too much. Yeah, your nephew, LP, he didn't like that too much of Daddy taking super kick to the mouth, which is banned and Control Your Narrative. So technically, I didn't lose because he used an illegal move. Yeah.
Hey, look, man. Your son is way more over than you are, brother. I saw a lot of footage of him in the ring, man, and with the crowd. He is a natural, and I think he got the gift of gab too. I've seen him taking over the microphone a couple times.
Listen, man. Listen. This best damn wrestling podcast is for me. Do you see him anywhere? This is for me. We don't want to talk about Superstar Rome. I deal with that every week. Everywhere I go, where's Superstar Rome? Hey, there's Superstar Rome. Hey, Victor Andrews. You know, Superstar Rome is more over than you. I don't care. Super kick to the kid, all right?
Oh, man, it's some heat. There's some heat in that. You know what I'm saying?
It is. He's going to retirement match. And you know what? I'm not even going to retire when he gets in the ring.
Somebody might be turning on somebody.
Real quick.
Yeah, man. It was real cool. I know I saw some pictures of him with the man Titan, formerly known as Braun Strowman, and EC3, man, and that was really cool.
Yeah, we actually had an opportunity to. So I'm the father of the narrative, and my story is pretty much being a father, just going out there and doing everything he can to provide for his family. And we actually did a promo, me and Rome together, for the narrative, which was amazing opportunity. It was really cool, and they loved it. They ate it up. Rome he's the natural, and everything that we do as far as wrestling and acting and modeling, this kid is a natural. Like I don't think I've ever had that ability at the age of he is to do all that stuff. Like I didn't have the guts even doing none of this stuff. I didn't start doing nothing like modeling anything until 17, 18, somewhere around there. And he's only 7 years old and has been doing it for 3 years now. So he had the opportunity to get in front of the camera, in front of a room full of guys, including Adam Scherr, Braun Strowman, Austin Aries, all the guys from the narrative, and do a promo like a grown professional, and really did a great job. And got over with the guys so much that I super kicked him as soon as we got out of the room.
Yeah, man, that's always great to see, man. And keep doing your thing. You out there living the dream, brother.
Hey, man, listen, I surpassed the dream and I'm living the life.
That's right. Well, look, man, me and LP, we had got into SummerSlam, and we started talking about what our expectations for a Brock versus Roman match was, and what was actually delivered on SummerSlam. What did you like the most about that?
What I like most is what's the word I'm looking for? They gave us beyond the expected. We of course expected Braun and Roman to go out there and have a MMA style fight, an MMA style match. We expected one of them to get busted open some kind of way. But that's not what happened. And they went above and beyond as far as the last man standing match went. I mean, including the tractor, that whole ordeal, and flipping the ring over, and like that reminded me of when Brock suplexed Big Show and the ring collapsed. And I think that was the first time that happened. So I think Brock said, you know what, I'm a collapse the ring in a different way, knowing that I can't do it with Roman Reigns from a superplex. Let me flip the daggone thing over with a daggone tractor and make it harder for him to be able to stand up, and it told the story. Every time Roman got ready to stand up to beat the 10 count, he utilized the rope.
Yeah.
So Brock said, you know what, I'm going to take it away from you. And that's what he did. And he flipped the ring over. And it's still, he had barricades and, commentators' desks, but he still had to get to those things to be able to do it. Inside the ring, it's a lot easier to get to a rope, especially if you're staggering and you stumble and you fall into the rope, you can catch yourself. If you fall into a barricade or a table, technically you're pretty much going to hurt yourself. So I loved it. It was an amazing match. If the fans didn't like it, they need to go ahead and start watching Scooby-Doo or something. Yeah. I don't know.
You mentioned something, the way that Roman was using the ropes to kind of get up. It just made me think about the Dave Chappelle skit when they beat Rick James' legs up. His legs was like linguine. That's what Roman legs remind me of. They were real loose. Man. He's so trying to stand up, man. But you're right, the storytelling in that match was top tier, man. And I thought it was match of the night. You know what I'm saying? There was some other matches in there. There was some really good matches, but you can't beat Brock Lesnar with a tractor trailer and lifting up the ring. I mean, you can't. It's kind of that's a crazy visual. And then after the end of the match, now Brock, they beat the hell out of Brock and then buried him. He got up out of the rubbish and was able to get into the ring while it was still lifted up and climb to the top and wave to the fans in Nashville. Man, that was a really iconic moment also, man. Let's talk about some of your favorite moments from SummerSlam, LP.
I think the Bailey showing up was a pretty dope moment. Especially showing up with a squad. I always wanted. I want to see I don't think we have ever seen a good female squad in WWE. I mean, you had the Riot Squad, you had the Iconic, you had those groups, but you have not had an evolution. You did not have a squad of females. So I'm excited about that to see if they find. They didn't never do the four horsewomen. They ain't never do none of that.
Right.
But I thought that was real cool that they did it, and hopefully that they go somewhere with it. But I just don't see where they're going with it yet, because they can't. I don't know. I think the female division got to have a little bit more pieces for them to fully do it right. If not, they're gonna be beating up Bianca. And I don't want to see that. I think the Usos and the Street Profits, that was a good match. Of course, what we all expected that. But the boys definitely about to break up. It's very clear.
Who is about to break up? The Street Profits?
They are hinting to it too much. And once they break up, only one of them is going to be successful for a little while. The other one is going to get fired to get the job. We've seen that in groups all the time. When groups break up, only one star is going to last.
I kind of disagree. I think only way one of them is going to be more successful than the other is if injury happens. Because they've both shown, and I think they did it on purpose, that they can both, really go get busy in singles competition. Dawkins can definitely handle himself and stand alone by himself, and so is Montez Ford. I think Dawkins has a more safety net when it comes to how he wrestles, because he doesn't do as much flips and high flying stuff as Montez. Montez has already had Dawkins that already had an injury one time before, which stopped them from being able to get the tag titles at one point. So I think both of them have the ability and the know-how and the mic skills to be able to stand alone and go out there and perform. And I think it's going to only way for them to separate each other and say one is better than the other is for them to put them in a match against each other to see who was the better person.
Yeah, but I'll say this. Let's go way back let's start with the Rocker Zone, right? Tell me a group that was a tag team group that split up and both members, and y'all might be able to remind me of somebody I forgot about, and both members were successful. Rockers, the Dudley Boys couldn't do it. You might can say Edge and Christian, but Edge and Christian didn't start off as a tag team. Tell me a tag team.
That started off as a
tag team.
Dawkins started off wrestling before Montez, if I'm not mistaken. He was in the WWE first.
He's known. They known for the tag group.
A tag team that started off as a tag team and split up, and then both were successful.
Or even if they put them together. I mean, worst case,
the Brothers of Destruction.
Yeah.
Who?
The Brothers of Destruction.
The Brothers of Destruction.
Taker, Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
Edge and Rey Mysterio. The Shield. It's a lot. You know what? I don't want to see the Street Profits break up. I do love Montez Ford's style. I do think that he needs to adapt more power moves into his arsenal. He still has high flying moves, and with all that muscle, I would love to see him do a lot more power moves, because I love when he gets super aggressive and he throws his wave around. But because he still has the same moveset as he did when he was a lighter frame. You know what I'm saying? So I would love to see him keep on evolving his moveset and evolve, more power moves into his actual game. But I think that the Street Profits might do something like the New Day did. You know what I mean? Still kind of, keep a mutual respect and still rep, the Street Profits, even if they are apart. I don't really see them fighting or them becoming jealous of one another or a heel turn like that on each other. I hope not. I don't think the fans want to see that, but if it did happen, it'll be a shocking moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I would want them to have a mutual thing. Go at it. If Montez wanted to really have a singles run, which I still think he wants to, do the Street Profits thing, but if he wanted to go on a singles run, he could. Dawkins got squabble, man. He's been in the WWE for a while, so he could step out. I don't know how much of a push he would get. Maybe if he, it's kind of like the Chad Gable thing. You know what I'm saying? Chad Gable has been a tag team since he's been in WWE, different ones. So he just fought for the United States title. And he's trying to, still kind of break out as a single star. But he's a good tag team wrestler.
He's better than that.
I mean? Yeah. Did you guys get to check out Bianca versus Becky?
Absolutely.
Mr. Everything, let me get your thoughts on that match.
Let's kind of break it down a little bit. This was the match that had to lead up to something bigger, right? Because we've had Bianca and Becky for a year now. SummerSlam of last year when Becky returned and she beat her, and this was a redemption story for Bianca. We can say WrestleMania was it, but no, SummerSlam was it because it was unexpected last year, and Becky Lynch, she gave the upset of the year, and this was a redemption story for Bianca, which made perfect sense for Bayley to come back because of Bayley's and Becky's history, whether they were together or apart. They have a strong history together. So the story between the two of Bianca and Becky Lynch really told how they started, how it ended, and where it's going next.
I love the match. I love the Becky face turn at the end of the match.
The very subtle face too.
Yeah, so when she comes back, I think she's switching back to the man character. If I'm, in a lot of aspects, she's still going to keep the big time Bex attitude, but I think she's switching back to a baby face. She has a shoulder injury, if I'm not mistaken, so they're saying that she might be out for an extended amount of time. We shall see. I think that the Raw roster is totally stacked for the women's division, and I know in the last podcast we talked about how we felt about the state of the women's division. I think that they have really stacked up the women, and I'm looking at former champions, and they kind of like just blending in. You know what I'm saying, with the crowd, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. You have, and I was just talking about Asuka. Asuka is a top talent. She was champion for almost a year and some change.
Mm-hmm.
She held down the show, especially during the COVID era. You know what I'm saying? The Thunderdome era, as they call it. So I'm looking at Alexa Bliss. I'm looking at Rhea Ripley and what she's doing. I think she's the most dangerous person, not only on the roster. I think she's the most dangerous person in Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? And that's, the way she choked out Dominic on Monday with her legs, man. She choked that boy out.
I think some people would have let her choke him out like that.
He couldn't move, man. She was choking him out. I'm like, man.
You can choke me out like that. I'll allow it. I would allow it.
Oh man. The roster is stacked, man. And so Bianca as champion, I believe that she has proven herself time and time again. And like I said, she has more competition than ever right now. I love the addition of Io Shirai. She now goes by the name of Io Sky. They changed the name again. I don't know why, but Io Sky. I'm not mad at it. I just why. You know what I'm saying? That's my only thing.
Because wrestling fans are dumb and they're not going to really say, "Oh, well, she was Shirai, and I guess Sky does rhyme." Maybe we're saying it wrong for the longest time.
From a marketing standpoint, I see it. It's okay. But they didn't have to do that. I don't know why they keep changing people's name. I'm not mad at the name change because it still sounds familiar to her. If they changed it completely to something else completely different, I would be upset about that.
If she don't come up with that name, I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah, it sounds similar for marketing purposes. I'm not completely mad at it. But Dakota Kai came back. I did not see that coming at all. I think that was the shock of the night for me when I saw Dakota Kai, because she was fired. They kicked her to the curb. Deuces. And when she came back, and I'm like, man, that's all. I just saw all Triple H's babies. SummerSlam and Raw, I seen all of Triple H's babies shining. You know what I mean?
Hunter's Angels.
Hunter's Angels. I just watched another replay of Raw, man. And not to get off SummerSlam, but I'm happy to see the push that Tommaso Ciampa is getting. And he was in the SummerSlam with The Miz and Logan Paul. Now I know we talked about Logan Paul a little bit. Mr. Everything, I'm interested to see, what did you think about the Logan Paul versus The Miz match at SummerSlam with Ciampa in his corner and Maurice? Oh, cheers! I'm with you.
I give the man his flowers. Logan Paul really did go out there and perform very well. I give the man his flowers. I was very surprised. I was very entertained, and I was very happy with the match. So I give the man his flowers. I give him his props. He did go out there and get busy. That frog splash.
Hey,
I broke onto the
hey, man.
I was like, okay, all right.
He adjusted in the air. Listen, that I can't hate on the man frog splash. He got a pretty frog splash, man. Yeah. And hey, that frog splash through the table on the Miz. Hey, when I saw that, I was like, people can't say anything. The boy's athletic. He can talk. I want to really see what he does. I want to see where it goes. I want to see who he partners up with. Right now, he's a fake character, if I'm not mistaken. But he can be the asshole. He just don't know how to be the asshole yet. I think The Miz was a good teacher for him. But, hey, the boy can go, man. I can't say nothing. The boy can go. I want to see him do more. I would love to see him versus Cody once he develops. I would love to see him versus Seth Rollins, or him versus Theory, or him and Theory team up. You know, Logan Paul. Hey, he put a lot of people. Hey, the boy stepped up. The boy stepped up. LP, what you think about his performance in the match?
Yeah, he did a better job than he did the first time, and he did a great job the first time. Yeah, I definitely think he got it, but I gotta throw that but in there. Logan Paul like to do everything, so he'll get bored with this after a while. I don't see him being there long enough to do some of those matches you mentioned. I see him. I don't know how long his contract is. I know they say a long term, but I don't believe it's a long term contract. I don't see him being an official superstar. I see him jumping in and out, playing with it a little bit. But if he went hard, he could definitely be a superstar. But that dude got so much other stuff going on. I can't see him committing. He's already doing what most wrestlers try to do after the fact. He's already doing it coming in. So I definitely don't see him being there. I see him probably fighting the Miz again, maybe one more, maybe somebody else, little stuff here and there, but I definitely don't see him, being that guy that we know he could be.
Like I said, I want to see the boy get down. I want to see what kind of rivalries he can make. I think he got the gift of gab. He got power. He got speed. He's athletic. And he don't mind people calling him an asshole. You know what I'm saying? He don't mind that. I think he embraces that, and I think that's going to make him a strong heel if he has the right direction, if he has the right storylines, if he has the right people to work with. He can be a figure in the game, and you could tell that he loves it.
I think he'll be better off being a heel. I don't see him being a babyface Cause they booing him a little bit now. Like he's made for, like, he's an asshole. And he's a rich asshole. He's not a heel. You know, he's perfect to be a heel.
He needs to embrace a Stone Cold Steve Austin type of mentality, where he just doesn't care about the rules. He comes in, he does whatever he want to do, and he leaves. I think if he was able to embrace that, I think he could pull it off because he has that asshole mentality. But I think the overprivileged mentality is going to overtake anything else for him because he comes from riches and he came from social media, and he's not a WWE superstar. He's not a wrestler. He's not a guy who this was his dream when he was a kid and he trained to do this. Like, he got called because he has a social media following. They wanted to see him come do WrestleMania for the social media following. He had fun that one night, and now he's back to try to, I guess, well, he got his revenge on Miz, but now what do you do after that? I don't want to see several matches with him and Miz. I don't want to see that. Let's go ahead and kill it now. He came back. He made his statement. Let him move on to something else. Now, what does he move on to? That's going to be to be seen, because who can he really get into it as far as a pissing contest with Mike from Mike? You know, who can he really go out there and go out on a microphone and somebody comes out and interrupts him and say, "Hey man, you only been here for not even a cup of coffee. Like the pot not even hot yet. So sit down, shut up, take some notes, go to the back, wash a couple of gears, and let the big boys handle what we do."
Awesome theory.
Man, I think, like I said, I'm excited about the product now. I don't know, it's a new energy about it. I heard that morale is really good behind the scenes. People are really excited that Triple H is back. I've heard rumors that they're going to bring Naomi and Sasha Banks back to an already stacked women's division, especially on Raw. Man, I'm excited with the additions of Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. I'm happy that Bayley is back. I said that Bayley was going to come back, and guess what? Bayley came back. I'm excited about Bayley being back. Bayley is a good heel, man. You need good heels. And I don't like people who don't naturally feel like heels trying to be heels because it comes off as trying too much or bad acting. You know what I mean? You have to have a little of that bad in you to be a good heel, man. And Bayley having two weapons is going to be interesting. To your point, LP, on the show. I'm excited to see what they do. Io Shirai already had a match against Bianca that was a slobber knocker of a match. And I'm really excited about those two additions and where the women's division is heading. Maybe we can see another Dakota and Raquel feud in the future, or a partnership.
The female can do
another match on the card that was really good was the Street Profits, the Usos, and that delivered again. That was a crazy match. Jeff, my man, called it straight down the line, old school refereeing. You know what I mean? When they got out of line, he checked them, both of them. He wasn't scared. He got in there. Jeff Jarrett, guns blazing, still had a hard right hand for anybody that wanted it. And Nashville embraced it. I love that, the match was straight down the middle, fair and square. Ain't no bones about it. Ain't no dispute. The Usos ended up taking the W in that match. I thought it was great. And we've seen the Street Profits versus the Usos a couple times, but every time they step in the ring, man, it's just like the Usos in the New Day. they just automatically, man, just have that chemistry, have that flow, have that aggressiveness and that competitive vibe to it. Mr. Everything, let me know what you think about that match. How were you? What were your feelings on the Street Profits versus the Usos?
Well, first off, let's give Jeff Jarrett his flowers. Man is iconic. He's a legend. He came out there. He reffed a really good match, an exceptional match. And then he turned around and he wrestled against Ric Flair in his last match. So, Jeff Jarrett, thank you for everything that you do for this business and this sport, and entertaining and making us, the guys who actually do it, want to step up to another level. This man is 60, 70 years old and look great. You know what I'm saying? As far as the match goes, boys went out there and did their thing. If there was a match that was expected to steal the show, that was the match, and they did exactly that. They went out there and they stole the show. A close chaser to that would have been Brock and Roman, which all fits together, right? Because they are the Usos and Roman Reigns. They're all a faction together. So, yeah, I mean, you can't expect nothing less from the Usos and the Street Profits. If you do expect anything less, you're going to be very surprised in how the outcome comes out. I mean, talking about the false finishes, the almost, oh, wow, he just kicked out of that and everything else. So, yeah, man, yeah, to them too.
Yeah. To your point, man, I think it was an excellent match, execution of tag team, just prowess, man, between both of the teams. Let's go ahead and transition, since you talked about the man, Double J, Jeff Jarrett. He had a great match with the legendary Ric Flair. And Ric Flair's last match was a tag match, Ric Flair and Andrade versus Jeff Jarrett
And Jay Lethal.
And Jay Lethal, man. Wow. Did you guys get a chance to check out the clips from that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did.
LP, tell me what your thoughts on the whole match and Jeff Jarrett being in the match, and also it being Ric Flair's alleged last match.
Well, I don't think I don't know if it's Flair's last match, because I saw him on a podcast and he was saying he did it because he needed that money. He was talking about he said it himself on a podcast. He was just like because people was asking why, Shawn Michaels was a great ending, why would you do it again? And he started breaking down his divorce, and just like, I think he was right. He ain't got a lot of money like he should have. So hopefully he can find money in other avenues. I think it was what everybody expected it to be. It ain't like he was gonna be doing nothing ridiculously crazy. He would be jumping off the top rope or crazy stuff like that. He kept his shirt on. Thank God. I'm saying he didn't take his shirt off. That I not. That's one of the first things I said. I said Flair kept his shirt on. Thank you. I remember Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper, then you had that shirt stuff. I was like, bro, come on now. But I think it was a good match. I definitely don't think it's his last match. They needed to stop saying that and just have matches, because every time you say it and you come in later on and say it's your last match, because when them bills come,
hey man,
that's how you know how to get that money. That's how you know how to get that money quick. He probably was in that match about 15. It was like 15, 20 minutes match.
Yeah.
And who knows how much he got? Yeah, ain't no telling how much he probably got paid for that. So that's a quick lick, for Flair. Yeah, but I mean, Flair's always gonna be a legend. I just want him to find other ways to get money other than getting in that ring.
Yeah, man, they brought out the legends for that match, man. They brought the Undertaker was in the crowd, and Mick Foley, and you said Bret Hart. Also, DDP was in the crowd. Man, they brought out the legends to see Ric Flair, man, and only Flair can do that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's only certain people that can probably do that. And Flair is one of those guys where he commands the respect of everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned before on the last podcast, man, if Flair go, you know what I'm saying, that's going to be a sad day in history. You know what I mean? But Flair, I think he was ready to die in that ring, Jack. He was like, hey, if I'm gonna go out on my shield, I'm gonna go out doing what I love. You know what I mean?
Yep. He did.
Yeah, man. That was a surreal. You know what I mean? It was. Hey, let me ask you a question, Mr. Everything. At what age should people like really consider just stop? What's a good stopping age?
Truthfully, brother, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you like this.
So step into the camera a little bit. Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna tell you like this. We don't stop, and it's been scientifically proven that we can't stop. No, really. Our bodies become so used to those slams and the things that we do in the ring that the moment that we stop, it deteriorates us. Our bones start to reconform to where it's supposed to be. What age? When you really cannot even walk to the ring. That age. When you get to a point where you really feel like you can't even hold your own weight up and walk to the ring, that's when you stop. Like, truthfully, there's no real age to this thing. It's just whenever you really feel like you just can't even get out the bed to even walk to the door or even to the bathroom to be able to take a shower to be able to go to the arena. I mean, look at guys like Lex Luger, who went through a very terrible health situation where he can't even function on his own, truthfully, to be able to go to these conventions and things like that. So it all depends on the individual and how they took care of their body. Like, look at DDP. Yeah, look at DDP, who came, gave us DDP yoga and helped so many guys come back from death. Look at Jake the Snake Roberts, who was able to come back from death. Look at Edge, Daniel Bryan, all these different guys who was able to come back from not being able to do this anymore to being able to perform on a level where either they used to be or just a notch under where they used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely taking care of your body, man, is good. I saw Mankind. I'm sorry, not Mankind. That was one of my favorite personalities from Mick Foley. But I saw, seeing Mick Foley, man, and see him missing the ear, missing teeth, and pretty much reconstructed, man. Years of old school wrestling would take toes off your body, man. And so,
Shawn Michaels, what happened to Shawn Michaels? I'm a huge Shawn Michaels, like my favorite wrestler all the time. He's one of my top three.
I'll say.
But I was watching NXT one time, and I saw him talking. I was like, what happened in the last couple of years? He got all mad. Like Shawn don't look like the Shawn. Like the last couple of years been rough on that brother. I don't know what he doing. He look like a man. He like he on mad.
Because he's not wrestling. That's what it is. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, it's because he's not wrestling. When you stop doing what your body is so used to doing, it's atrophy. It's just like a bodybuilder going out there and working out. If they start working out, the muscles start deteriorating and getting smaller. So our bodies and our bones start to get smaller and start deteriorating because we're no longer doing the things. We're no longer active. So if he actually get back in the ring and start moving around, you'll see a whole different Shawn Michaels. I guarantee.
They ain't gonna fix his teeth, brother.
He do got that floating eye. Just floating. You just sit there and talk to him. He's like, this eye just go all kind of which ways. I love Shawn Michaels. I know we're talking about our legends, man, but like I said, salute to Ric Flair, salute to Jeff Jarrett. Salute to Shawn Michaels. Salute to all the legends that we grew up watching. I know a lot of people looking at us doing this podcast like, y'all actually watch wrestling? Yeah. And it's funny when you talk about, you asked him, and they say, oh yeah, I used to watch it when I was a kid. Well, it's the same thing for us. You know what I'm saying? It's memories, it's figures, it's a telenovela. I get into the storylines. I'm a storyline junkie. I love good storyline because that's what it is for me. These are my telenovelas. I don't care what kind of telenovela you watching. If Maria slapped Jose, you're gonna talk about all your friends. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I told my mama that. I said, what, she watched The Young and the Restless. I said, this ain't nothing but a violent Young and the Restless. That's it. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? As the world turns, all them soap operas. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And I think when you explain that to people, it kind of brings that wall down and make them more susceptible to learn about the characters and see what they're seeing. I had my niece watching the Bianca Belair versus Becky match, and she understood it. She knew the bad guy versus the good guy. She was rooting for Bianca. You know what I mean? I thought that was the cutest thing. You know what I mean? She was into it because she understood. You know what I'm saying? That it was a story. It was a battle between good and evil. You know what I'm saying? And then the good figure triumphed and then humbled the bad figure where they turned good again. She understood that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the beauty of wrestling and what it does. It really connects people. And I think SummerSlam, man, was awesome this year. They had some great surprises. We talked about who we were excited to see. I was excited to see Edge's return. Mr. Everything. Seeing Edge come back to a group that essentially exiled him. I think that they pulled the trigger way too early on that.
Way too early
on that. I see Judgment Day, and it's not as strong as it was with Edge because it was a dynamic that I was excited about it. And now I see Judgment Day, I don't have that same excitement except for when Rhea came back. Now Rhea seems like she's almost the leader of the group. But when they pulled the trigger on Edge, man, and they kicked Edge out the group, I thought that was way too premature. And now I do like the storyline of Edge trying to destroy the group that he created, trying to destroy the monster that he created. And it will only make sense to me if the monster grew and got out of control and started demolishing every other faction. But they can't do that because the bloodline is way too high. And I don't see the only way that I see a faction like the Judgment Day meeting that level is they have to destroy everything leading up to the bloodline. But they need some strong speakers in the group. They do. They need strong speakers in the group.
Here's the issue. You brought Edge back too fast. Now what do you do with him? What do you do with him as far as Judgment Day? Because he's by himself. So are you going to have him pick these guys off one by one, which shows that they're trash by themselves? Or do you align him with a group of guys who help him tear this faction apart? And if you do that, then who do you do it with? You don't have anybody. I don't think you have anybody on NXT to bring up to start that. And then again, you have these NXT former talent coming up doing this faction. Who's to say the same thing doesn't happen with this new group of NXT superstars? You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think you did it too fast, too early. I think they should have alluded to some other people getting involved with this, with the Judgment Day, and it ultimately brings out Edge as the leader of that new group that's trying to tear down Judgment Day.
Almost like a Hurt Business versus the what was the group, the Retribution? Almost kind of like that dynamic. I can see that. The only thing WWE doesn't really have is factions other than the Bloodline. They really don't have any strong factions other than the Bloodline, the Brawling Brutes. That's pretty much it. And now this dynamic with Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. I would love to see more factions in WWE. AEW has. If you're not in a faction, you're not surviving. That's pretty much how that climate is. You have to be a part of a group in order for you to survive in that smorgasbord of wrestlers. And WWE used to have some really great factions. The only great faction now is the Bloodline, hands down. But I would love to see some factions and people really getting together and creating something. I think Judgment Day had that potential. It still does have that potential. Obviously, the exile of Edge makes the group weaker, in my opinion, because they don't have any strong speakers. So they need to get a strong speaker representative in Judgment Day, like a Kevin Owens. If Kevin Owens joined Judgment Day and became the leader of Judgment Day, that would really be interesting. I don't see that happening. Even Seth Rollins, if Seth Rollins decided to take the helm of the group, but I think they want to be all looked at as equal. I don't see any of those characters really blending into, oh yeah, we're all equal, we all have the same power kind of thing. The group needs direction. I want to see them have direction. What do you think, LP? Do you think the group needs a leader, or do you like how it is laid out now?
I think that it's going to end it completely. Whatever Edge does, what he's going to do, it is going to. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think that it's going to end the group. Because at this point in time, just kind of like what he said earlier. What do they got? I don't even want to see them keep on doing this whole Mysterio. The beef of the Mysterio storyline is not the best in the world. So Edge is one of the few people that can lead that group, because it's kind of like the ministry. Couldn't nobody else take over the ministry from the Undertaker, because that's the whole Undertaker vibe, blah blah blah. So when you had Edge being this prophet, this demonic or evil type person, you just can't throw anybody else. That's why Finn Balor didn't work. That was just like the worst person they could have put in there to be with Finn Balor. Or Dominique joined. If Dominique was to join Judgment Day, for what? He doesn't even fit the dynamic. You look at Rhea and you look at Damian Priest. Yeah. They have that gothic, dark, that dark kind of vibe. Like, I don't even see anybody else in WWE right offhand that really fits that. So I don't know. I think either they're going to end it, or Edge is going to humble all of them, and then they're going to bow down to him, and they're still going to keep the group, and Edge takes it back over. Maybe get rid of Finn Balor, since Finn Balor was technically the one who caused talked them into betraying them or whatever. So I think the only way they keep the group is for Edge to somehow take the group back over, or they just going to end it. Then if they end it, what are they going to do with Edge? Like, they finally had something that Edge was doing. So now, like, I think they wrote themselves in a hole that they can have to have some good writing to get out, or all them people in that group are going to suffer from it.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where that goes. Obviously, they need some direction, man. I would love to see where that goes, because, like I said, they're a great faction. So let's go into some of these comments, man, because we got some comments on the page. Let's go to Drunk. He said they about to turn Logan Paul into the next Randy Orton. Oh, that's very interesting. I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that either.
But they might. Hey, Mr. Everything, let me know what you think about that comment.
No.
No?
Absolutely. He
not even close.
Not even close. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have a Randy Orton Mentality, he doesn't have. No.
I don't know about that. I gotta kind of disagree with you. Say he don't got that. Look at Randy Orton when Randy Orton first started. If Randy Orton never joined Evolution, Randy might not have been Randy. So Logan Paul in the right group or squad, you can't. This is if he decides to do it full time. If he really wants to do it, Logan Paul in the right group could work, but they don't have any group like Evolution no more. That kind of goes back to what we just said. Exactly. They don't got. Let's see, gonna join with the Roman and them, like that's the bloodline. Now him joining the bloodline could be interesting. They definitely not gonna do it. I don't think.
Well, hold on.
Him joining the bloodline, then you put him on the Paul Heyman.
What about Logan Paul, Pat McAfee, or McAfee, or however you say his name, in the Miz?
Yeah.
In the Miz.
In a group?
Yes.
They gonna make Pat McAfee a heel? Nah.
He has to get the gap.
That's a lot of strong, really strong personalities. That's where they're gonna clash. I don't see that dynamic. Maybe before. Speaking of Pat McAfee, let's see. Shirley says, y'all forgetting about Pat McAfee. Set up a whole church choir for bum ass Corbin. He had a whole choir.
I don't know what that was
about. Ass Corbin.
I don't know what
crowd singing bum ass Corbin while bum ass Corbin was walking to the ring. Man, that was epic. Mr. Everything, what do you think about that psychologically, man, getting into your opponent's head right before they step into the match?
Getting in a point in your opponent's hand right before the match is psychological warfare. We know this very well. And it's the best way to psych your opponent out to be able to get the advantage so that you can win. However, it didn't work. I mean, you had a choir saying bum ass Corbin. I mean, was it really a choir though, or was it just a group of men?
I don't know. It was a group of random dudes in the back. They did not sound like a choir at all. They sound like all his college buddies. They just got drunk and they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna go up here singing bum ass Corbin." They were not coordinated at all. They didn't even have a choir director. No,
not coordinated at all. I think a couple of guys was like, I was standing in a line and I just ended up here. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to just join with the other guys because they had me sign a paper saying I would get paid for this. So I'm here. Hey guys, hi.
Yeah, they didn't care what they sounded like. All them boys sounded like they smoked the whole pack of Newports right before they got on stage. Whole pack of Newports. Whole pack. 100. With no juice. Just straight Newports. Oh, man. Marcus Cofield says AEW has it. I think that refers back to all of the factions that's in AEW. And also, man, the stars that they're getting to actually go there, a lot of people are getting some shine. They might not be getting that paycheck, but they're getting some shine. Yeah, man. I would love to see more factions in WWE. I'm excited to see what the direction under Triple H will be. Are you excited about this new regime, LP?
Yeah, I definitely. I'm just ready for it to go full steam, so everybody can just stop bringing it up every week. Or it's like everybody that watch the show, you be like, "Did Triple H do this? Did Triple H do that?" You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready for it to maybe like another few weeks, and we can just watch the show and we know he got full control of whoever got what. I definitely think that Triple H is going to make a difference. I think Triple H is going to bring some of his boys. I think he can bring some of his boys and put them in. You know, Triple H is with his clique boys. I won't be surprised to see a Kevin Nash doing something over here. You know, some of his boys doing a little something. Because that would help the product. I think the biggest issue that Vince, for one, he didn't want to grow, and Vince was stuck in his ways. I think Triple H seemed like the type he might listen to people when they say, "Hey man, let's try this," or "This is not working," or "This is old school." Vince was going to do it his way and not care. That's why I think it's going to be the biggest difference between Triple H winning, or Triple H me or whoever else.
Yeah, man. I think a lot of people in the industry are excited about Triple H taking over. I think we'll see a lot of people coming back. I think we'll see a lot of NXT stars shining. I think they're going to give little guys an opportunity now. Look at Ciampa. We have Ciampa versus Bobby Lashley. I'm excited about this match. Even though I wanted AJ to shine, I wanted Ciampa to win, to have the opportunity to win. But Ciampa versus Bobby Lashley, I'm excited about it because it's going to be a smash mouth, brawling, hard-hitting match, and those are the type of matches that I love. You know, so I'm excited about that match. I'm excited about wrestling in the industry, man. It's really growing, and it's growing its reach also. LP, I know. I think I have a hot topic for the next podcast, and I want to do the best wrestlers turned actors. You know what I'm saying? All right, I'm going to talk about it now. Because when we get into it, we're going to start going at it and talk about it. But
we already know who number one is.
There are a number of wrestlers turned actor. We got to rank them all. We got to do the best damn ranking. You know what I'm saying? So I got you. Before we go ahead and hop off, let's go ahead and go into LP's best damn wrestling moment.
Well, I think we already spoke about it earlier. It's hard to do my damn best moment when we talk about it damn throughout the damn show. You know, we always end up doing it. But definitely Brock lifting the ring up. It ain't no question that was the most shocking event in months, maybe years. I actually want to say years. You know, especially with that match, nobody really expecting it to be great. We just was like, I know I was like, whatever. But and the match itself still was decent. But when you see stuff like that, especially with a last man standing match, that beats the chair or ladder, you know, the kendo stick, the typical stuff we always see. That right there just brought a little bit more to it. And even whether now is hinting that Brock's gonna retire, which that's a big hint. I don't know if you thought.
Hey man, if Brock wanted to retire, that was a great send off, man.
Yeah. I think he kind of hinted to it, like a little bit, like I'm about done, guys. I done made all.
I'm about to hang it up. I can still do it, but you know. I don't know. I can't see Brock fighting for any belts or fighting just normally, just for the hell of it. Just for, you know, I can't see him starting from the bottom of the roster and working his way back up. He is.
I do want his last match to be Bobby Lashley, though. I want Bobby Lashley to be his last match.
Oh, yeah.
So they can finally get that real match in there.
I want that real, I want that real memorable, this is awesome. Like Bobby versus Brock was a dream match for me that I thought would never happen. And then it happened. And I'm like, it's okay. But Bobby got his ass whooped in that match. Brock drug his ass all around that ring, Jack. And I hated to see it because I was Team Bobby. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, Bobby. But as soon as Brock started hitting, I'm like, ooh, oh shit. Oh, you know, he was mollywopping him through that whole match, man. It was. I want to see them go at it again, and I think Bobby just keeps getting bigger. I prefer heel Bobby over babyface Bobby.
Really?
Babyface, but I don't like babyface Bobby. Bobby too smiley, man. He ain't got no eyebrows. You know, he just drew them on. You know, it's, you know, I like heel Bobby.
He's more
Bobby just go in angry. Just go in angry and destroy everything. I like that Bobby. But Bobby Lashley is definitely a great champion, man. I'm happy that he's United States champion. I think he's really bringing prestige and respect to the title. I think bar none, he's one of the best athletes on the roster. He is a real action figure, a real life action figure. If you had to draw a black action figure, you would draw Bobby Lashley. He's a template. You know what I'm saying? If I'm playing 2K, WWE 2K, I'm building the Bobby Lashley character straight up and down.
Yeah.
I love Bobby as a champion. I think that as far as black champions go, he is one of the greatest, and I don't think he'd get his flowers. And I think you put him on your Mount Rushmore. Am I mistaken? He was on your Mount Rushmore. So I think Bobby should get a little bit, put some respect on Bobby's name. You know what I'm saying? As champion, he's holding this belt down. And I think that I would love to see more of him as the champion. And I would, like we talked about before, I want to see a belt split. I don't like to see the titles united. I think we have more competition. You have more storylines. Roman is working a part-time Brock like schedule, John Cena like schedule. You know what I'm saying? He's only fighting major events, man. So I would love to see those titles separated and then have a champion on Raw.
I'm gonna tell you what
champion on SmackDown.
This will be the last thing I say. I'm gonna tell you what I really wanted them to do since Triple H taking over. I want them to have a scene where Triple H is just in a room, and behind him are all the old belts, European Championship, light heavyweight championship, the real heavyweight championship, not that two bull crap they got now. Like, and he bring back the old belt. Man, that'd be crazy.
You think people will gravitate to the product more if he brought back old belts and old championships like the Hardcore Championship, like the European Championship? Do you think that that will put more eyes on the product or make people tune in more?
Yeah, because you got to look at it. You had all those belts. You had some of these C and D listers having something to do. Like they can't make everybody fight for the hardcore belt all the damn time. Like when you had a light heavyweight champion, you had like the cruiserweights, and you had Spike Dudley. You had all the they don't have a lot of small wrestlers now like they used to, but the little smaller wrestlers. The European, D'Lo Brown made that belt the shit. So
to this, hold on. You mentioned one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, D'Lo Brown. It was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. I loved the way he walked. I still do the little head movements. D'Lo Brown was a wrestler's wrestler, and I love wrestlers, man. So he'll get his credit. He'll get his due. I think he's working down in Impact, if I'm not mistaken. Does he work? I believe he works for Impact. He's a part of Talent Relations, if I'm not mistaken. But D'Lo Brown, man, was one of my favorite characters, and I still see some of his movesets being done today. Like, you know what I'm saying, the Sky High. I think Dawkins does the Sky High. I've seen a couple other wrestlers do it too. And then D'Lo Brown had one of the most iconic frog splashes.
He had the top frog splash. No disrespect to Eddie Guerrero, but D'Lo is at the top of my list.
Okay. It's me and you. Let's get into it. Frog splashes, right? We talked about Logan Paul's frog splash a little bit earlier. Who would you put top 3 frog splashes of all time? Top 3.
D'Lo, Eddie. I'm trying to think who else was a person. How many other people did a frog splash on a regular basis?
You got Rey Mysterio who does frogs. You know,
I don't want to count nobody that do it based on Eddie. Because Ray wasn't really doing it until he started tributing Eddie, right? I don't remember him doing it beforehand.
There's a lot of people that do a frog splash. Kevin Owens got a bull frog splash. Seth Rollins has a frog splash. If you're talking going back, RVD's frog splash.
RVD, that'd be number 3. Wait. Let me see. Yeah, I can't put RVD above Eddie, which is hard. Damn, it's hard. Yeah, I say D-Lo, Eddie, and RVD.
You know what? I can't disagree with that list. I think that would be my top 3 too. If I had to be honest, I'm trying to think of who else really does a iconic frog splash. RVD's frog splash, the 5-star frog splash, was one of my favorite frog splashes. Because RVD used to get up. I mean, he hurt himself every time, but every time.
So much, and he can change direction though. I've seen him do it and change directions, so that's why it was hard not to give it number 2.
Yeah,
but that damn Eddie, I can't do it.
Honorable mention on the frog splashes. I see Sherlyn said the Usos. The Usos frog splash is a very iconic frog splash. Yeah, I have to give it to you, Sherlyn. Yeah, you are correct. Montez Ford has an amazing frog splash from the heavens. Is his frog splash is good too. But if I had to say of all time, I'm going RVD, Eddie, and D'Lo Brown. Those three frog splashes, man. I think those are the best frog splashes in history. And I've seen a lot of people do that. But RVD can change direction at the drop of a hat. D'Lo Brown just has his was so pretty. His style, and it was so unique to him. And Eddie, man, just Eddie, man.
They all had different parts. So like with D'Lo seemed to go higher than everybody else. It's like that for him to be a chunky dude.
D'Lo went deep with his. Like, I believe D'Lo's hurt. I believed in D'Lo Brown's frog splash. I believe when you got there, it knocked all the wind out you. RVD, he jumped so high. You know, his was so devastating. But D'Lo Brown's looked like it hurt. I would hate to take D'Lo Brown's frog splash. Honorable mention is not quite a frog splash, but we go on splashes. Honorable mention is the Vader bomb. You know what I mean? The Vader bomb. It's not a frog splash, but we talking about devastating splashes. The Vader bomb is one of those where I would hate to have to take that. I don't see too many cats that really wanted to take that from Vader, big man Vader. Not only did he beat the hell out of you, but him just throwing all his weight on you, knocking you through the ring. Big man Vader had an iconic splash. If we're gonna go that way, but yeah, when it comes to frog splashes, D'Lo, Eddie Guerrero, and RVD, man, I don't see anybody really topping that list of frog splashes. You know what I'm saying? So look, it's been a great show. I do want to end this by telling you, I was in the RDP airport. I believe I mentioned this. I'm sitting in the chair. I got my luggage around. I got my son right here. My lady, she up here. She was trying to get the tickets and stuff straight, make sure we was good. And lo and behold, I recognized somebody limping across the airport. And it was Matt Hardy. And I was like, nobody see this unicorn just walking across to the floor? It's freaking Matt Hardy. And I met Jeff before. I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Right. So it's before I get into the Jeff story. I'm looking at Matt Hardy. I'm like, yo, this is freaking Matt Hardy. And I say out loud, hey, don't nobody see Matt Hardy just walking by? And I wanted to get up and, do the fan thing, but I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be that guy stopping him from his destination to take a picture with him, because obviously he didn't want nobody talking to him, because the way he was walking, he was limping, first of all. Kind of had that slow limp walk, but he was twitching with his head. And I was like, I kind of want to talk to him, but I don't know what kind of dude he is in person. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he might not be in the mood. You know what I mean? So I didn't pursue that. But my old lady got mad at me. She said, why you didn't tell me that Matt Hardy was walking through? I could have walked up to him and got his autograph. I was like, baby, we didn't want to be those people. to stop a celebrity and ask for a picture. You know what I'm saying? And plus, he didn't look like he wanted to be bothered. But I saw Jeff when I was working in Durham inside the mall a couple of years back, and Jeff came up to me, and obviously he had to go to the bathroom. He had BGs. He had the bubble guts. He was holding it. I know it was on the verge of coming out, because the desperation in his face when he asked me, excuse me, do you know where the bathroom is? I was like, yeah, it's right behind you, man. It's right behind you. And he decided to waddle all the way to the bathroom. I was waiting. It was weird, because I wanted to fan out. I wanted to be like, hey, that's freaking Jeff Hardy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jeff. But I'm not going to stop the man from wanting to relieve himself. You know what I'm saying? That's, so, I was caught in two circumstances where I wanted to get, fan out, get a picture, an autograph from two of my childhood favorite wrestlers growing up, are the Hardy Boys. They from North Carolina. So it makes sense where I've seen them. Jeff in Durham in the mall, and Matt in the airport. He was going somewhere. So they were busy. I ain't want to bother nobody when they busy. But the way I met Jeff was so funny. And I was like, do I wait for him to come out the bathroom and then ask for an autograph? What y'all just let him do is, go about his business. I had another wrestler ask me where the bathroom was. Bianca Belair. I was working security. She was in NXT at the time. She walked up to me. I don't think she was with Tez then. Maybe they had just started talking. But she asked me where the bathroom was, and I stuttered. I ain't know where it was. I was like, it's somewhere around here. Excuse me, where the bathroom at? Oh, yeah, it's down there. They said it's down there. I didn't know. I didn't know what to say to him. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I didn't know what the bathroom was, so I had to ask other people. But I wanted to be confident, like, yeah, it's right there. There you go, it's right there. What would you say? What would you say to Bianca? Have you ever seen a wrestler, and have you ever fanned out when you saw a wrestler in public?
It's funny because I've ran into Jeff at Crab Tree Mall one time. You know at Crab Tree, when you first go in, if you on that short little curve, I was coming one way, he was coming the other way, and we ran right into each other. He was like, excuse me. I'm like, yeah, excuse me, man. And then I was like, wait a minute, that was him. And I didn't know, I was by myself. It was like in the middle of the day. He was by himself. And I probably could have found him, but it was too late. He was gone. He was like a ghost. he was gone. But it just didn't click on me to afterward. You know how you bump into somebody, you just, excuse me. And then they walk off, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I could have said something. Yeah. But other than that, I haven't. I think I used to work at KFC when I was younger. And Greg the Hammer Valentine came in there one night, and me and all my friends, we kept on saying that was him, but didn't none of us come out and say nothing. We just knew it was him.
Oh man, see, sometimes you got to just go ahead and pull that trigger, man. I think next time I see somebody, I would just bite the bullet, because I've taken pictures with wrestlers before. I got all kind of pictures when I used to work security, and I did some NXT events, and so I got a couple of with a lot of NXT people when they were coming up. Matt Riddle. I got one with one of the guys. I think Alvar from the Viking Raiders. Keith Lee at the time. Who else? Adam Cole. A couple of other people, man. And so it's interesting to see him because these are like rock stars in my view. Some of these guys, man. So it's always interesting to see them in normal everyday life, just wanting to use the bathroom. Just going to the airport trying to catch a plane. You know what I'm saying?
I met Kurt Angle at well, this was, I don't know if you remember, this is back in the days. They don't do it no more. But you know, wrestlers used to go to like car dealerships or whatever, just sign autographs all day or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I remember one year The Rock and D'Lo Brown was somewhere and we was gonna go, but we ended up not going. I think it was in Fayetteville. And this was a year of like it was Kurt Angle, Jeff, Don Marie, because I still got a picture with Don Marie, and we that line was long as hell, and they was about to yo it, so we started skipping line. We were just jumping in front of people playing the black card, looking at them like, "What you gonna do?" We kept on skipping till we got to one point where this one guy had been in line all day. He wasn't having that shit, so he started getting his ruckus. And so, you know, the people were like, "What's going on over here?" And they were like, "These people trying to jump in front of us, blah, blah, blah." So we was like, so we moving on, and I wasn't trying to start a trouble because I knew what I had been skipping, breaking front. But we ended up weaseling our way to where the table was at. And this is when Kurt Angle had the cast on his head, and he was in a weird, all that other kind of stuff. And I remember I said something to him, and he was like, "Yeah, man." He was like, "I'm getting too old for this," blah, blah, blah. But it was just the fact that I spoke to Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle is one of my top wrestlers too. So that made my day the whole, and I didn't get no picture, I didn't get no autograph, but I spoke to him. You know, so anytime a wrestler, Rhino gave me the middle finger one time at a WWE event.
Oh man, that's a badge of honor.
Yeah. he had just lost. It was the NC State. And they can hear your ass when you start yelling and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he was on his way back, and I was like, "Get back some of your ECW prime." And he put his finger up like that. He was like, "Ah!" I ain't gonna never forget that. Of course, he wouldn't know. He just threw it. He didn't look back. I was like, if he would have came over there, we would have like it was him and won't me.
Oh man. Yeah. I don't think too many people want real life beef with a wrestler. You know what I'm saying? Not at the time. Like certain people you leave alone. Like Brock, if I ever stepped on Brock's shoe, I'm apologize. I'm wiping it off. Hey man, it's okay. I'm sorry. I ain't mean to. Anybody else I'm bugging up to, but somebody like Brock, man, he was like, I'm straight. I'm my bad. My bad. Hey, look, man, this has been a great show. LP, the Don, I appreciate you showing your love, brother, and always doing your thing. What you got coming up, man?
Same old, man. Just shooting in the studio.
All right, cool.
Yep.
Where can people find you?
One Click, spell the word out. One Click Photography Shoots with an S on Instagram. That's the best place to reach me. You gotta fix it at the bottom because that ain't my Instagram, man. We're gonna have to fix it next week.
I got you. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it. We're going to be adding more to the show. Thank you guys for watching us, man, each and every Wednesday. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. We got more to come, more exciting content. Just stick around. This is the best damn wrestling podcast. LP, I'll holler at you, my brother.
Have a good one.
All right, you have a good one, man.